Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Welcome to another edition of Living Simply and Fun. I'm your host, Aries, and that's Cooter from Dukes of Hazzard.
Wow, I'm moving up in the world. So, anyways, we're doing this video while waiting for an electrician to come, which I don't think is going to come today. Even though the manager said 1:30, here it is almost 3:30 or something like
3:20.
that. Yeah, close to. And, well, by the time that this is uploaded, it'll be after 3:30. But anyways, we figure they won't come after 5, so let's kill some time. So we're going to come with you with some cigar reviews. Quite a few of them this time, too, as Rita and me do ours jointly, and then I do mine separate, which has more information in it and everything. But that's another story. Anyways, I guess we'll go alphabetical on this one. The first one that we tried on this list that we have to catch up on is the Acid Kuba. Now, I smoked one of these quite a while ago, and I was very impressed with the taste. I'd gone to a local smoke shop, and I picked one up because I needed to pick something up. And I didn't buy one for Rita because Rita bought some other things.
Gurkhas!
Yes. And so... No, it wasn't the Gurkhas that you bought there. You bought, I think, like H. Upmann and a Punch and an Onyx or something. I don't remember what you got. Anyways, I got me Acid Kuba. And I was very pleasantly surprised with the flavor. I'd never smoked an infused cigar before. Overall, though, the flavor was excellent. It was tasty. In fact, I looked forward to it so much from my first one that I had early last month that I wanted to have one on the 4th of July with Rita. So that's what I did. And
sorry if I'm trying to cover the belch. I just ate some nasty Pringles and ugh.
So it kept up with the with how I thought of it. And I still maintain that I give it a 9.1 rating. It was extremely enjoyable. So...
I'm going to say I beg the difference. You see, it had that beautiful infused flavor.
Oh, it was so
some
tasty
people
and
can
sweet.
power puff them, but me, I've been learning to be a connoisseur better than friends of mine, not like him. And I like to get about 90 minutes out of the Kuba. The tobacco's fine. Drew Estate makes it really good. I give it a 9.5.
Wow.
Because that is just one of the ones that you know. And they're so much addictive that I went out and I bought 2 more this month.
Yes, that's true. She did. She likes her Kubas now. Which I like them too, but not that much that I'm going to go...
However, let me give you a little thing about Kubas. There's a 5 Kuba and a Herfador, a travel humidor sampler from Cigar International. They've been out for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
That shows how popular
they are. They are a very popular smoke. Next up, we got the Asylum 13, the Ogre 60 ring gauge.
First, I wanted the 70, but you know we're gonna try the stump later on that.
The thing is, I got what I could get, and at Famous Smoke Shop, they only had the one size available when I placed the order. So, but I thought that this would be a novelty cigar. You know, the brown and green barber pole, and well, I like Candela too, and it's kind of hard to find straight Candela anymore either, unless I want to go with like Palma Real or Iguana. You know, it's just not.
Or that $20 jobby from Corona, which I keep telling him to do, but he's like, it's okay. It might be crap.
Yeah, but there's no major brand. I know Arturo Fuente and Romeo Juliet both had a Candela. I think Romeo did. I know Arturo did.
Don Thomas, I smoked 2 of those in Cleveland.
But they're very rare, and it seems very unpopular, and I love a good Candela. Anyways, I was worried that the barber pole setup of this was going to end up causing trouble, that it would unravel, or that it would start to run along the seam, which actually it did start to run along the seam, but it fixed itself almost right away because, well, the seams twist. So... as it tries to run down the seam, it gets to a point where the seam runs out.
I got these.
The Ogre will not fit in there.
I got this free from Middleton.
Yes. I don't know why that's important at this point.
Because it's Indian leather.
Anyways, Asylum kind of means, you know, a place to put crazy people. Well, I guess this cigar in a way is kind of crazy, because I figure it's more representative of the you know, what's in an asylum. the cigar rather than the cigar putting people into one.
Yeah, I get
So
it.
I don't think it's necessarily crazy to smoke one, but crazy as in the cigar is crazy. And actually, Ogre is like a beast, a monster of sorts, and this cigar was monstrous. It literally just kind of knocked me on
Let's
my
just
ass.
say
I was
when
exhausted after smoking
Let me
it.
just say when
It's
I...
a good night smoke.
When I think of Ogre, I laugh because you got those Gurkhas, they call them the Titans. This thing is superior to a Titan.
Well, I haven't even smoked a Titan before.
I have.
You have.
Yes.
So
But that's beside the point.
anyways, I would say that this is much more than a novelty after having smoked it. It's definitely worth giving it a try, especially since, heck, it's a novelty to begin with for almost everyone. I didn't put a lot of expectation behind it. It's just, I'm curious what it's like. I want to try it.
And it's very mild, and I really did
And I
like
love
it.
the flavors that appeared in it. I can't put names on the flavors, but it was just a beautiful done cigar. It did leave it very hot at the end, and instead of getting it down to like 3/4 of an inch of a nub left at the end, I had like 1.5 inch.
I had 3/4 of an inch, but
Yours was as long as mine.
No,
if not a
mine
little
was
longer.
shorter, trust me. Plus the fact I tried power puffing even like this, but problem is I kept burning myself.
Anyways, I gave the Asylum 13 Ogre an 8.7 only because there was some minor construction problems with the seams, but not enough to really get my panties in a bunch over. But it wasn't
He
something.
doesn't wear panties. He wears boxers.
You know what I mean. It's the phrase. Anyways, I figured that, it just didn't quite warrant the 9 point or higher that I'd like to give it, only because the seams weren't quite 100% great. But, heck, it's worth a try. So, 8.7 for me. Rita?
I liked it in every detail, size, construction. I had minor issue, not big issue, but very minor. I'm going to bump it to 8.9 for me because I just really liked it. And the Candela mixed in with the regular wrapper made it very unique smoke, and the flavor was just there.
Alright, now the next one of these is a bit of a surprise for me. It's the Carlos Torano Brigade, which, by the way, I think is only available through Famous Smoke at about $4 a stick for a single, roughly Robusto size. And I figured at first when I got it that it comes in this Ziploc bag because it doesn't have the plastic wrapper that's folded over with some tape holding it together. It's just, it was in a little Ziploc container. And the label doesn't say Carlos Torano anywhere on it. It just says Brigade. And it's kind of a cheap looking label, but not bad. It's a black label. It's kind of etched with a brown ring around it. And it says Brigade in gold in the center. Well...
Incoming message.
Sorry about that. I wish that wouldn't happen while making videos. Anyways, it's one of her friends.
It's Angela.
So, the Brigade, one of the things that I first noticed about it is that it was a lighter than usual wrapper, and I don't know what type of binder or anything. I will do a video on it eventually on my channel, which will give some history into Carlos Torano as well as the Brigade if I can. But the flavor was incredible. It was a darn near perfect smoke from beginning to end. No construction errors whatsoever, and what looked like the cheapest cigar I think I have ever seen in some ways. It still had a wrapper though, and I've seen some that don't even come with a wrapper. The not a foot mark. Well, the wrapper, the binder, binder wrapper. It's part of the cigar term too, but. Anyways, the label. That's it. The label. It actually has a label. And I don't know. The flavors were just incredible. I can't help but say, for the price, you have to try it. It's $35 a box. You cannot go wrong with a $35 a box for 20 cigars. Well, not even a box. It's a bundle. That actually have a flavor like this. This flavor knocked the crap out of all the Gurkhas we smoked, except for maybe the Warlord. And it came very close. It had strong notes of hay in it. I've heard people say there's hay in this, and I've tried it, and I don't find anything that tastes like hay in it. But this literally must be like totally infused with that flavor or whatever, because it's so thick and strong that it's not just a hint. It's there. It's in your face. and it kind of loses that flavor in a halfway point area, but it comes back near the end even stronger, and I actually love that flavor. And the fact that it burnt so long, it's a short smoke. For a Robusto, it burnt down in about, I think it was about an hour. But that's not all that bad for a Robusto. I do wish it was a longer smoke. I do think they have a Churchill of it too, but you can't get that in a single stick. So, I gave it a 9.3. Rita? I guess you're busy.
Yes, I was answering an email. The Torano Brigade lasted me about an hour and 45 minutes.
Yes.
I enjoyed it. I have to say, one of my favorite things about it was the flavor and how he checked the price, and it was about $3 a stick.
I literally can make it a daily smoke.
And now he's interrupting
Sorry.
me again. He should pipe in. I can make that my daily smoke, or the Carlos Torano Classico by Cigar International, because it's just a damn good smoke. He gives it a 9.3. I'm going to give it a 9.6 because Carlos Torano made it so it tasted better than some of these high-end Gurkhas that you're paying $20 to $30 a stick. So technically there is what I think of it.
And by the way, a 9.3 I believe is the highest I've ever given. I think a 9.6 is the highest you've ever given. So here you got one of the cheaper cigars on the market, and we're giving it the highest rating of any cigar we've ever tried. Yeah, you may call us noobs in the field and don't know what the heck we're talking about. Don't say that we don't know what we're talking about till you've tried one. The Brigade is actually an awesome smoke, so go and give that one a try. Next, we'll go on to the Gurkha Ancient Warrior. Of course, here we just got done dissing Gurkha. The Ancient Warrior had a very impressive looking label. It had a footer label that was about that long wrapped around the whole foot, and a cap label too, which said Ancient Warrior and Kehen Sosha, etc. The basic stuff on it in cursive. But it was an impressive looking label, and because of this, we had this great anticipation that the Ancient Warrior was going to be...
Which was going to be our final Gurkha cigar in the sampler to try. We had it all earmarked.
We set it for the end because we thought it was going to be so great. We had this great anticipation that this is going to be the most awesome cigar in the whole bunch. Well, besides the fact that it burnt pretty even, it's supposed to be a $25 cigar. For a $25 cigar, I want something that smacks me in the face and says, you've never tried anything like this before. This is so out there that there is no competition for us. You're going to want to buy more $25 cigars. This was like, you know, if you're looking for something that's upbeat and fast-paced and, you know, maybe something like a dance song like the Macarena, you're not going to find this. This is a very slow, classical song that just kind of meanders about.
Yes, I get it.
There's no real mild flavors either. It's more just smoke flavored. And
I do want to make a statement about Gurkha. Not to diss them, but this is how I see Gurkha after I smoked the Presidente sampler. And saving the warlord, the Ancient Warrior.
Ancient Warrior.
Yeah, Ancient Warrior to be the last, thinking it would be the best cigar.
No, the Beauty was maybe the best.
Yes, can I just...
But go ahead.
Anyways, the point being, when it comes to the cigar, in my opinion, when it comes to the Ancient Warrior and Gurkha in general, I have my doubts. And I'm sorry to say this, that if someone gave me a box of 12,500 King Louis XIII infused Gurkha cigars,
I'm afraid they'd suck.
I'd afraid it'd suck, even at $400 a stick. Here's what I'm going to say about Gurkha. Gurkha must be getting very crappy on their construction and very crappy in general, because you can go out and get 35 to 50 Gurkha specials from various places for samplers for between $100 and $130, and they claim that they're about $700 to $1,200 in value.
It's like they want you to go ahead and try their cigars, so they're trying to get you addicted to their cigars and think, oh my god, this is awesome. I can't believe I got a $25 cigar in this bundle for $30. It's worth that cigar alone. Here's a $440 value for $39.99.
Well, like, no,
you get 10
the
cigars.
The Gurkha,
I get 10 cigars worth $400. Wow, that's equaling out $40 a cigar.
The Gurkha edition by Cigar International had a value of almost $800, whereas the other one had a value of almost $1,100 for 50 Gurkhas.
Anyways, I'm gonna get onto my rating on this one. I'm done talking about Gurkha.
I'm just trying to...
one of the problems I had with this cigar was the fact that it had a major construction flaw. Almost all the way through it, it kept wanting to bulge out. Like, it wanted to explode from the wrapper, and as I smoked it, the wrapper would crack and the filler would just expand. And that's what you get when you... It's like there was too much moisture inside, and the moisture was heating up and causing it to expand. And that shouldn't be happening with any cigar whatsoever.
So what's your rating?
I don't know what you call that. Anyways, because this is supposed to be a $20 to $25 cigar, sometimes you have to call to find out availability and price, which could end up being $30, $35 a cigar. I can't find paying that for this crap, honestly, because that's what it was in my opinion. I can't give it better than 7.0. The flavor was okay, but not $25 worth of flavor.
I beg the difference on his
It wasn't even complex.
Number.
It was uncomplex.
I give it a 5.0 because every Gurkha I've smoked is utter crap except for the beauty.
Actually,
secondly, they were trying to roll out these
like
Gurkha.
The Warlord too.
Secondly, they're trying to roll out these Gurkha editions dirt cheap so you can get 35 to 50 of them dirt cheap. For what? $25 a stick. They say, oh, this is what you're getting. When you're actually getting utter crap. I would be ashamed to smoke Gurkhas.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on here to the H. Upmann Cameroon, which, from my understanding, seems to only come in the flavor packs, which are nicely humidified, single-serve packs that you rip the top off of, pull it out, squeeze it out of its plastic, and smoke it. It comes with a nice little Spanish cedar label type thing that says H. Upmann Vintage Cameroon on it, and then you get the footer and header labels too. Or no, there's 2 footer labels and a header label or a cap label. It's a very pleasant looking cigar, and it actually has some complexity and flavors to it. It burned nicely. I had no construction problems whatsoever. The bag does very well keep it humidified, and so it's kind of nice if you don't have room in your humidifier to have a few of these sitting alongside of it, so you don't have to overcrowd your humidifier with them and stuff. I guess that's a nice thing, actually. But of course, you have to buy them by single stick then. I think you can buy a box of these flavor packs. I don't know where Rita's going.
Checking something.
But
Time is great.
I know. So the Cameroon, I thought actually had a very incredible flavor. Again, I can't tell you what the flavor was, but it was just absolutely a cigar of beauty. I did a nice little project on it, and it's nice how it kind of ties into the Onyx and the Montecristo that I did, and the St. Louis Ray, which is also on there, but that's another story altogether. Altogether, the H. Upmann Cameroon, I give it an 8.8. I could make that a daily smoke. I wish it came in boxes, and if it does come in boxes, I'll be happy to find that out. Your thoughts?
It was a good smoke, and I picked up one myself because I wanted to try one. I didn't get the Louis D. Ray, but oh well, I give it the same, an 8.8. It had no problems with it. At first I thought it was going to be short smoke. Turned out to be a full, decent smoke. It took me hour and 45 minutes to smoke it.
Yep. Moving on to the Montecristo Platinum, which is amazing that we actually tried the H. Upmann Cameroon on the same day as the Montecristo Platinum. They're from the same company, both from Altatus. In fact, not only were they both from Altatus, but in the 1930s, the same owner had bought both of them, and they became one company for a while until Altatus got them. Anyways, going on to what our thoughts were on the Montecristo. Again, it burned pretty evenly and pretty smoothly. The thing I didn't like about the Montecristo Platinum is there really was no flavors to it. It just was kind of a dry smoke, and it was a good dry smoke. It was a pleasurable dry smoke, and it left me happy. So I can't be negative towards it. It's just, it wasn't anything standoutish, but I have smoked 2 of them now, and I would smoke them again. I would recommend giving them a try.
I agree completely with him there. The thing is I agree also with the fact that it means platinum, which means one of the best metals out there.
You would think
Instead, it's just an
Platinum's
average
not a
cigar.
good name for it.
No.
Platinum Series just doesn't quite fit the name of the cigar. But
It's
I'm not going to go
diss
ahead.
it.
I'm not going to diss it and give it a lower rating because its name doesn't fit the cigar. I'm going to give this an 8.5 overall.
Yes.
It was a very pleasant cigar, and it was worth the money. We
Yes.
paid $7 a stick.
It was well worth the money, and I agree with him. It's an 8.5. It burned good, evenly. The construction was fine. I had no problems with it, and I smoked two myself. So, and it was worth the $7 a stick.
Now I'm going to move on to the Onyx Reserve here, which again is Altadas. We've tried a lot of Altadas in this video. The Onyx Reserve is a very highly rated cigar. I believe that it was 94 overall, which we had just smoked in Aging Room, which was a 94 overall too.
And the aging room was crap.
I don't know if we did a video on that one or not, but yeah, it didn't live up to our expectations, the Aging Room, and for a 94 rated, it was like, this is garbage. But this was a 94 rated we had just after that, and it was superb. Perfect construction, perfect everything. I thought that it might not be good anymore due to the fact that the place we got it, the guy does not keep his humidor kept up. And I figured it'd be dry as heck and cracking and peeling because I figured they were old. No, he actually sells them pretty well, and I can understand why, because although I'd had Onyx in the past, it didn't stick out to me or stand out that it was any good. In fact, I kind of looked the other way from, like, Onyx, never heard of them. No, Onyx is actually well worth the money. I found out that the guy who made Onyx now has his own company, and I'm looking forward to trying his cigars if ever I can find a way to get a hold of some. Due to the fact that they're only sold at distributors, you know, these small mom and pop shops in your local towns, then we have no mom and pop shop in our local area that will sell them. Anyways, here I am, going on and on. I'm being told to hurry up.
Yeah, what's
I give
21 minutes?
I give the Onyx a 9.2. So.
I give the Onyx a 9.5 because it's just a damn good smoke, and I cannot complain whatsoever about it.
Ah, okay, so it's on the track with your Brigade.
Yeah.
Finally moving on to just a plain old Romeo Juliet Reserve.
That's the last one?
Yes, it is. The Romeo Juliet Reserve is the last one on our list. Now, Romeo and Juliet, for some reason, has always been one of these that I have known for years and years and years as one of the cream of the crop of the cigar industry. Romeos are supposed to be among top shelf cigars. However, I don't think they're as top shelf.
I call them mid-grade cigars.
I've always thought they were overrated. Even when I was younger, I smoked Romeo Juliets back almost 15 years ago and said, this isn't all that great.
That's what I was doing almost 10 years ago, smoking Max. The same thing was like, this is highly anticipated. What is this? You know?
Yeah, so Romeo Juliets have always been the overhyped, overrated cigar. I do not like Romeo Juliets. I gave this a try, and it was just so-so. It was kind of a wishy-washy, flavorless sort of cigar that really left no impression on me. It seemed to carry a higher price point than I wanted to pay, and overall, just because of that, I could only give it an 8.1. And that's because it was better than not bad, but it wasn't quite price point related, and the flavors just didn't accumulate, so I kind of dropped it back to an 8.1 instead of being an 8.5 or an 8.9, which is where it should probably have rested, but I can only give it an 8.1.
I give it an 8.0. I've smoked their Maduros, their Reserva Realas, and their Anniversarios. And their
nothing competes to the Anniversario
exactly.
with you.
Nothing will compete to that 10.0 Stogie myself.
So there you go. Her highest rated is the Romeo Juliet Anniversario. You heard it yourself. She gives it a 10.0. And we've been talking earlier that 9.5 was the highest she gave with the Kuba and the Brigade. So, and the Onyx.
And my birthday's next month, and I hope to get the Romeo and Juliet Lovers Pack, which has two of your
anniversaries, and we can't get the Anniversarios around here for you. Mail order, we'd have to buy a whole box of that sampler.
Yeah, or I can get a singles through one website, but very hard to get a hold of because they're all back ordered.
Or sold out.
Or sold out, yes. However, before we sign out, I want to make a statement here on something else. For all of you out there, I want you to look for me and Aaron's single videos coming up off and on. We'll be doing them daily, probably.
Oh, for these?
No. We will be jointly doing 45 types of cigars minimum. We got
the Po' Boy Sampler 2 from Cigar International, the Po' Boy Sampler 3 from Cigar International,
and the Buzzard's Banquet 2.
Holt. Yes, from Holtz. So that gives us a total of 60 cigars. 90 cigars. 2 of each. One of them was duplicated with the Stogies, so that'll actually give us 44 to review.
And not including the CEO Champler 2 sampler with Travel Humidor. That's another 10 cigars.
And the Cigar sampler we got,
which
with
is
all 5 of theirs.
Types of Cigar stoves.
And we still also got the ones that I got, the Humo Jaguar. We've got one I can't pronounce, El Rojas or something like that, El Ocha. Then there's another one that I got. The
Partagas Oscuro.
Yes, the Partagas Oscuro Special or something like that. And then I got some Schizos, a bundle of them. And there was one other, I think, that I got in there. I can't remember what it was now. Anyways, we got, the Voodoo. We got 2 Voodoos also. So we got a lot of cigars to be sampling, trying, and bringing in videos for you. Sorry, I got distracted.
No problem. I know who it is. So, with that said, look for our video reviews. Even though some people think we are living cheap and not fun.
Yep. Living cheap sometimes is part of living fun. So, and it's a matter of living simply as well. So, there you go. There's our video.
Yes, please add and subscribe. Please add me as a friend. Please leave suggestions, feedbacks, comments. And please look for another video tomorrow on cigars. And we will be reviewing, even though you'll think it's cheap, a couple little mini samplers of coffee. There you have it. Thank you and stay tuned.